Hello friends, welcome to Manu Law Classes. मेरा नाम गौतम दीक्षित है. Now today in this video we are going to discuss the important news from the Hindu edition of 16th March 2023. Some of the important news which we are going to discuss is from environment. As you can see over here, elusive Eurasian otter found in Kashmir, the tributary of Chenab River. So we will study this news. Then we will also see a very important decision taken by the Bar Council of India that foreign lawyers and firms now they can operate in India. So we are going to discuss about this on the national page. Along with that, we are going to discuss about the Finance Commission's formula under which some states they get more from the central tax pool. So we are going to see that based on which the grants are made from the central pool to the states. Okay, and then we will today discuss a very important topic about women. Okay, so we have an op-ed page, we have an article about women, and again related with women we are going to the women's reservation bill, which will be the highlight for today. Okay, and then we will discuss again, we will have a revision जो हम बहुत दिन से करते आ रहे हैं ऑकस के बारे में. हम थोड़ा ऑकस के बारे में भी थोड़ा सा पढ़ेंगे, और सिलिकॉन वैली बैंक और सिग्नेचर बैंक which have recently failed in US, so we will be studying about this also. So let's start. The first news, exports falls 8.8%, trade deficit shrinks over 7%. Okay, तो यहाँ पे देखिए ये जो फिगर जो आप देख रहे हैं कि एक्सपोर्ट इज फॉलिंग बाय 8.8% ऑन ईयर बेसिस, और जो ट्रेड डेफिसिट है दैट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द import and export, it has shrink over 7%. So it tells about the global weakening demand. ठीक है, the global demand is weakening. ठीक, तो ये अगर आप देखेंगे कि जो इन्फ्लेशन है वो हर जगह है, कॉस्ट ऑफ लिविंग क्राइसिस भी बढ़ा हुआ है, तो जो डिमांड है of exportable goods, so that is going down. So that's why if you will see that the export has fallen. The second reason is that disruption of supply chain. So because of the Russia-Ukraine crisis and COVID-19 in many countries, especially in China, so there is a disruption of supply chain, so which has a spillover effect over the global trade. So if you will just see the data, so tentative global demand pulled in India's good exports down to 8.8% in February to $33.9 billion, and import has fallen by 8.2% as compared to February 2022 to $51.31 billion according to the Commerce Ministry. The next is, this is the third time in 5 months that merchandise export का मतलब goods export have contracted. Okay, last time it had contracted in October 2022 where the contraction was 11.6%, and then in December 2022 where the contraction was 3%. Okay, now looking at the other figures, so see the merchandise trade deficit, matlab deficit in merchandise, not it means excluding services. So the merchandise trade deficit during February 2023 it fell it fell by 7% to $17.43 billion. Now if we see oil and non-oil exports, so they both have contracted. Oil export it has fallen sharply by 28.8%, while import has fallen below $52 billion mark. Then coming to gold imports, so it has also dropped almost 45% from February 2022 levels. The next is the Elephant Whisperers. So Stalin pities the stars of the Elephant Whisperers. So Bowman and Belly, the two human protagonists in the Oscar-winning documentary The Elephant Whisperer, they were given a check of rupees 1 lakh each and citation by Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin. तो यहाँ पे जो ये दो एलिफेंट विस्परर है, इट हैज वन ऑस्कर इन द बेस्ट डॉक्यूमेंट्री शॉर्ट. तो कैटेगरी यहाँ पे क्लियर होनी चाहिए आपको, बेस्ट डॉक्यूमेंट्री शॉर्ट. एक इंडियन डॉक्यूमेंट्री थी जिसका नॉमिनेशन हुआ था बेस्ट डॉक्यूमेंट्री फीचर में, उसको अवार्ड नहीं मिला बट इट वाज नॉमिनेटेड. दैट नेम वाज ऑल दैट ब्रीड्स. ओके, सो यहाँ पे अगर आप देखेंगे तो बेस्ट डॉक्यूमेंट्री शॉर्ट में द एलिफेंट विस्परर ने जीता है, और ऑल दैट ब्रीड्स का जो नॉमिनेशन था वो हुआ था बेस्ट डॉक्यूमेंट्री फीचर में. उसके बाद जो आपका सॉन्ग है RRR मूवी का नाटू नाटू, वो बेस्ट ओरिजिनल सॉन्ग में जीता है. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट इज गवर्नर कैन नॉट प्रेसिपिटेट द फॉल ऑफ एन इलेक्टेड गवर्नमेंट सेज सुप्रीम कोर्ट. सो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने एक बार फिर से गवर्नर को कहा है कि दैट दे कैन नॉट take the trust vote, they cannot call for trust vote because just based on dissension in a ruling political party. Okay, and which can precipitate the fall of legitimately established and functioning government. So the court has said that the governor cannot enter into any area by which his action would precipitate the fall of a government. Now यहाँ पर अगर आप देखेंगे in our constitutional scheme which we call as representative democracy, ठीक है, एक तो हम कहते हैं रिप्रेजेंटेटिव, दूसरा रेस्पॉन्सिबल गवर्नमेंट। रेस्पॉन्सिबल गवर्नमेंट, तो अगर आप देखेंगे रेस्पॉन्सिबल गवर्नमेंट, तो इसका एक मीनिंग होता है रेस्पॉन्सिबल गवर्नमेंट का। रेस्पॉन्सिबल गवर्नमेंट का मतलब होता है कि जो काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर होगा, जो काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर होते हैं, दे डिपेंड अपॉन देयर रूल इज डिपेंडेंट अपॉन the majority support they enjoy in the lower house, means that they are responsible to the lower house. Fine. So this is called as responsible government. So over here, whether the government will continue or not, that has to be decided on the floor of the house as decided in SR Bombay case. Coming to lessons learned, so यहाँ पे we are talking about the failure of two banks. One is Silicon Valley Bank and then next is Signature Bank. फाइन। तो यहाँ पे आप जानते हैं कि जो बैंक्स जो फेल करती हैं, तो यहाँ पे जो सबसे बड़ा क्वेश्चन मार्क होता है वो ये होता है कि अब डिपॉजिटर्स जिन्होंने अपना मनी जो है वो डिपॉजिट जो किया हुआ है, इनका पैसा का क्या होगा। तो इनको प्रोटेक्ट करना सबसे ज़्यादा ज़रूरी होता है, ठीक है ना। सो हियर इट इज़ लाइक डिपॉजिटर्स वर्सेस शेयर होल्डर्स। ठीक, तो डिपॉजिटर्स वो हैं जिन्होंने अपना जो मनी है वो उस बैंक में अकाउंट खोल के डिपॉजिट किया है। शेयर होल्डर्स का मतलब दे आर होल्डिंग द शेयर ऑफ दैट बैंक एज अ कंपनी। गॉट इट। तो यहाँ पे अगर आप सिलिकॉन वैली बैंक देखेंगे, तो सिलिकॉन वैली बैंक विच इज इन यूएस वेस्ट कोस्ट कैलिफोर्निया में, तो यहाँ पे जो फेलियर हुआ है, दिस इज अ फेलियर विच इज मेनली ड्यू टू राइजिंग इंटरेस्ट रेट इन यूएस. So if you will see that many countries including US and European Union, they are increasing the benchmark rate to control inflation. So it has led to reduction in earnings of the firms and they are not able to service their debt, which is one of the reasons for failure of this bank. अब अगर हम यूएस में अगर स्टेप्स देखें तो देखिए यूएस ने क्या क्या स्टेप लिया गया है. So that if you will see the first point, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation first took over the Silicon Valley Bank in California and it took control of New York-based Signature Bank in concert with Federal Reserve and Treasury Department, where both have announced that depositors in both the banks would be repaid in full. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे मतलब डिपॉजिटर्स का जो पैसा है that will be repaid in full. उसके बाद अगर आप देखेंगे सिलिकॉन वैली बैंक का और सिग्नेचर बैंक का फेलियर होने का देखिए कारण या उनका जो बेस है वो देखिए. तो सिलिकॉन वैली बैंक का जो केस है इट इज़ फेयरली यूनिक. ये इसको इनका जो डिपॉजिटर बेस है इट मेनली कंप्राइज ऑफ स्टार्टअप्स एंड वेंचर कैपिटलिस्ट विच आर मोस्टली फ्रॉम द टेक हब ऑफ सिलिकॉन वैली. देन द बैंक ने जो है उसने बहुत ज़्यादा इन्वेस्ट किया था इन द पोर्टफोलियो ऑफ यूएस ट्रेजरीज एंड मॉर्गेज बॉन्ड्स विच हैड अ रिजल्ट ऑफ recent sharp interest rate increases by an inflation battling central bank accumulated unrealized losses. मतलब यहाँ पे कहना है कि इनका जो बहुत ज़्यादा इन्वेस्टमेंट था वो यूएस ट्रेजरी और मॉर्गेज बॉन्ड में था, बट रिसेंटली सिंस द बेंचमार्क इंटरेस्ट रेट वाज इंक्रीज्ड, तो जो इनका प्रॉफिट था ओके वो इरोड हो गया. उसके बाद अगर आप सिग्नेचर बैंक को देखेंगे तो दे हैव एक्सपोज्ड देमसेल्फ हाईली टू वर्टाइल क्रिप्टो करेंसीज बाय प्रोवाइडिंग सर्विसेज टू दोज हु आर इन्वेस्टिंग इन डिजिटल एसेट्स. नाउ अगर हम इंडिया में देखें तो इंडिया में देखिए एक गाइडलाइन होता है रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया का गाइडलाइन ओके दैट इज कॉल्ड एज इन्वेस्टमेंट फ्लक्चुएशन रिजर्व. So RBI has asked every bank to create an investment fluctuation reserve. Okay, तो यहाँ पे अगर आप देखेंगे कि जो ये इंटरेस्ट रेट इंक्रीज होता है बेंचमार्क इंटरेस्ट रेट ये साइक्लिकल होता है. ठीक है, जैसे कि कंट्री का जो इकोनॉमी होता है इट ऑल्सो गोज थ्रू द पीरियड ऑफ साइकिल्स लाइक देयर विल बी अ बूम, then there will be slow down, then there will be recession, then again there will be boom. तो जिस तरीके से जो साइकिल चल रहा होगा इकोनॉमी में उस तरीके से हमारा जो बेंचमार्क इंटरेस्ट रेट है वो ऊपर नीचे करता रहता है. So since increasing the benchmark interest rate, it erodes the profitability of the banks. So in order to shield the bank from changing interest rate in the economy and to protect the depositors, RBI has asked every bank to create a separate reserve that is called as investment fluctuation reserve to counter the increase in interest rate, or you can say changes in benchmark interest rate. The next is a sharp divide, that is we are talking about AUKUS. So recently सैन डिएगो में AUKUS की मीटिंग हुई यहाँ पे यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स, यूनाइटेड किंगडम एंड ऑस्ट्रेलिया के लीडर्स थे, एंड एट अ नेवल बेस पॉइंट लोमा इन यूएस, एंड नाउ दे हैव डिसाइडेड that Australia will be given up to 5 Virginia class missile. That is first important thing. It is a nuclear powered ballistic submarine. Then second, that they will also be developing SS and AUKUS in collaboration with British and America. Okay, this will be the new model of submarine, and it will be built and used by all the three navies. Okay, तो अगर आप देखेंगे AUKUS which was announced in September 2021 with focus on Indo-Pacific region, तो इसमें देखिए ये जो डील हुआ है इसमें 3 पार्ट्स हैं. इसके 3 पार्ट्स को समझना बहुत ज़रूरी है. देखिए पहला पार्ट क्या है, यूएस एंड यूके नेवीज दे विल एम्बेड ऑस्ट्रेलियन पर्सोनल एंड दे विल इंक्रीज पोर्ट विजिट टू ऑस्ट्रेलिया टू ट्रेन टुगेदर. इसका मतलब जॉइंट ट्रेनिंग होगी यूएस यूके और ऑस्ट्रेलियन नेवी का. उसके बाद इन सेकेंड, यूएस एंड यूके न्यूक्लियर सबमरीन दे विल ट्रैवल रोटेशनली टू ऑस्ट्रेलिया एंड यूएस विल सेल ऑस्ट्रेलिया अप टू 5 न्यूक्लियर पावर्ड वर्जीनिया क्लास सबमरीन. देन नेक्स्ट स्टेप में क्या होगा कि अ न्यू सबमरीन कॉल्ड एसएस एंड ऑकस विल बी बिल्ड and used by all the three navies with interoperable working. So definitely ये जो deal है it is $368 billion deal and it will be finalized in 10 years, and definitely this is focusing in the Indo-Pacific region countering China. So definitely यहाँ पे China का जो response है it is saying that it is a wrong and dangerous path which these countries are taking. तो China हमेशा US को allege करता है कि that US is creating something like NATO in Indo-Pacific region. So US is creating a NATO-like alliance for Indo-Pacific region. Fine. Then अगर आप देखेंगे कि कुछ और countries है like New Zealand, Malaysia and Indonesia, they have integrated their discomfort with AUKUS because now Australia will have nuclear powered submarine. Very few countries have this nuclear powered submarines, including India, okay, US, Russia, China, UK. Fine. So now Australia will also join a group of countries that will use nuclear powered submarines. So there is a question over proliferation of nuclear weapons. तो इस केस में जो हमारे यूएस प्रेसिडेंट हैं जो बाइडेन, he has instituted that submarines will be nuclear powered but not nuclear armed. ठीक है, कि जो सबमरीन का जो propulsion होगा that will be based on nuclear power, but submarines will not be armed with nuclear weapon. Now coming to finance commission, friction over formula, why some states get more from center. So under article 280 of the constitution, okay, the president has to set up establish finance commission for after every 5 years. Okay, so finance commission जो है, it is a constitutional body. The mandate of the finance commission is to recommend the formula for distribution of center's tax collection between the center and state and between different states. तो यहाँ पे जो 15 फाइनेंस कमीशन है, ठीक है, इसने जो फॉर्मूला दिया है उस फॉर्मूला में अगर हम देखेंगे तो वी हैव पॉपुलेशन, वी हैव एरिया इन अंडर फॉरेस्ट, इकोलॉजी, देन वी हैव इक्विटी एंड देन वी हैव परफॉर्मेंस लाइक टैक्स रेवेन्यू एंड लोअर फर्टिलिटी रेट. बट यहाँ पे अगर आप देखेंगे कि पॉपुलेशन को जो है वो सबसे ज़्यादा वेटेज दिया गया है, तो इसकी वजह से क्या होता है कि नॉर्दर्न स्टेट्स जो हैं दे गेट more money from central pool as compared to Tamil Nadu and other southern states. So if you will just take a formula, now see the weight assigned to need, state का need है that is 40%, equity 45% and 15% for performance. अब performance भी किसमें in generating tax revenue and population. तो इस केस में अगर आप देखेंगे कि इस बेसिस पे, अगर नीड बेसिस पे अगर आप देखें कि नीड को जो बहुत ज़्यादा वेटेज दिया गया है, तो उस केस में क्या होता है कि उत्तर प्रदेश और बिहार को सेंट्रल टैक्स पूल में से 17.9% और 10% के आसपास मिलता है. उसके बाद कर्नाटका, केरला एंड तमिलनाडु की बात करें तो दे गेट 3.65, 1.93 एंड 4.08%. So that's why states like Tamil Nadu, they have expressed their discomfort with this formula and they say that they are skewed towards the northern states. Now if you will just see the first paragraph, देखिए यहाँ पे लिखा है कि that for every 1 rupee that the Tamil Nadu gives to the center, it gets back 29 पैसे. And for on the other hand, अगर उत्तर प्रदेश 1 रुपया देता है तो उसको कितना मिलता है 2.73 and बिहार को कितना मिलता है 7.06. अब यहाँ पे एम गोविंदा राव है जो who was the member of the 14 Finance Commission. तो देखिए इन्होंने क्या कहा है कि he has defended the formula. He is saying that the objective of this formula is not to return the money you get from a state, but transfers enable a state to provide comparable level of services across the country. फाइन, इसका मतलब कि जो सर्विसेज पॉपुलेशन को तमिलनाडु में मिल रही है वही सर्विसेज सिटीजन्स को उत्तर प्रदेश में भी मिलना चाहिए. देयर शुड नॉट बी अ वेरी वाइड इंटरस्टेट डिस्पैरिटीज. So the basic rationale over here is horizontal equity. Now coming to women reservation bill. So यहाँ पर अगर हम देखेंगे that it is again in the news. So we will start our discussion from the Constituent Assembly debate, that the issue of women's reservation came up in Constituent Assembly debate as well, but it was rejected as being unnecessary. ठीक है, तो ये जो issue for reservation for women है, ठीक है ना, इट कैन ट्रेस बैक टू इंडियन नेशनल मूवमेंट. जब देश आज़ाद भी नहीं हुआ था तो 1931 की बात है. while in the letter to the British Prime Minister, 3 women's bodies leaders, Begum Shah Nawaz, Sarojini Naidu, okay, so they wrote a letter, okay, on the status of women in the new constitution. Then again this issue came in the Constituent Assembly debate, which rejected it, saying that it is now unnecessary. After that, if you will see that, then comes that in 1971 a committee of the status of women in India was set up, which commented on the declining political representation of women in India. Majority of the people, but within the committee, they were against the reservation for women in local legislative bodies, but they supported the reservation for women in local bodies. इसका मतलब कि जो कमिटी ऑफ स्टेटस ऑफ वुमेन 1971 था, उसने एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट मुद्दा हाईलाइट किया कि भाई वुमेन का जो पॉलिटिकल रिप्रेजेंटेशन है इट इज डिक्लाइनिंग, बट दे वर नॉट सपोर्टिंग द आइडिया ऑफ रिजर्वेशन फॉर वुमेन इन लेजिस्लेटिव बॉडीज, बट लोकल बॉडीज में उन्होंने सपोर्ट किया. तो उसके बाद क्या हुआ कि स्लोली मैनी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट दे स्टार्टेड गिविंग रिजर्वेशन फॉर वुमेन इन लोकल बॉडीज लाइक पंचायत एंड अर्बन लोकल बॉडीज. उसके बाद 1988 में करीब 17 साल के बाद एक नेशनल पर्सपेक्टिव प्लान फॉर वुमेन आया, जिसमें ये रिकमेंड किया दैट रिजर्वेशन शुड बी प्रोवाइडेड टू वुमेन राइट फ्रॉम द लेवल ऑफ पंचायत टू दैट ऑफ पार्लियामेंट. इस पर्सपेक्टिव प्लान के बाद 73rd and 74th अमेंडमेंट आया, which mandated that all state government should reserve 1/3 of the seats for women in Panchayati Raj institutions and 1/3 of the offices of chairperson at all levels of the Panchayati Raj institutions in urban local bodies also. And then they said that within this 1/3 of reservation, one seats should also be reserved for scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, women also. अब कुछ स्टेट्स ऐसे हैं जिन्होंने 33% से ज़्यादा रिजर्वेशन दिया वुमेन को लोकल बॉडीज में. दिस स्टेट्स लाइक महाराष्ट्र, आंध्र प्रदेश, बिहार, छत्तीसगढ़, झारखंड एंड केरला, दे मेड लीगल प्रोविजंस टू एंश्योर 50% रिजर्वेशन फॉर वुमेन इन लोकल बॉडीज. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अब हम आते हैं वुमेन्स रिजर्वेशन बिल के ऊपर. मीन्स द बिल विच विल गिव रिजर्वेशन टू वुमेन, 33% रिजर्वेशन टू वुमेन इन पार्लियामेंट एंड स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली. तो ऐसा बिल सबसे पहले 1996 में इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ पार्लियामेंट में, लोकसभा में. ओके इट एज अ 81st अमेंडमेंट बिल इन सितंबर 1996. एट दैट टाइम द प्राइम मिनिस्टर वाज HD देवेगौड़ा, but the bill failed to get the approval of the house and it was referred to joint parliamentary committee which submitted its report in December 1996. तो उसके बाद क्या हुआ, सरकार गिर गई, लोकसभा लैप्स हो गया, दोबारा जनरल इलेक्शन अनाउंस हुआ. तो क्योंकि ये बिल लोकसभा में ऑरिजिनेट हुआ था, राज्यसभा में गया नहीं था, तो ये बिल लैप्स हो गया. ये कन्वेंशन है हमारे इंडियन पार्लियामेंट का कि अगर कोई बिल लोकसभा में ऑरिजिनेट होती है और वो राज्यसभा में नहीं जा पाती, लोकसभा में ही रह जाती है और डिससॉल्यूशन हो गया उस बिल का, तो वो बिल लैप्स हो गया. अब दोबारा उस बिल को इंट्रोड्यूस करना पड़ेगा. ये ऐसा हुआ भी. दैट इन 1998 द अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी लेड नेशनल डेमोक्रेटिक अलायंस गवर्नमेंट री-इंट्रोड्यूस्ड द बिल इन द 12th लोकसभा. एंड इट वाज एट दैट टाइम द लॉ मिनिस्टर M. Thambidurai introduced the bill, but an RJD MP he tore the bill in the parliament. Okay. Then again the bill was lapsed. Then again the bill was reintroduced in 1999, 2002 and 2003. Okay, but the bill failed to receive the majority vote. Then in 2008, the Manmohan Singh led UPA government tabled the bill in Rajya Sabha and it was passed by 186-1 vote on March 9, 2010. But the bill was never taken up for consideration in Lok Sabha and lapsed with the dissolution of the 15th Lok Sabha. ठीक है ना, राज्यसभा से ये बिल लोकसभा में आया. अब लोकसभा में भी ये बिल इसको कंसिडर नहीं किया गया, तो अगेन ये बिल जो है वो लोकसभा में लैप्स हो गया. अब यहाँ पे अगर आप देखेंगे कि तभी भी इस बिल को थोड़ा सा अपोजिशन था, स्पेशली फ्रॉम RJD, JDU एंड SP and they were saying that there should be 33% horizontal reservation for backward groups of women within this overall 33% reservation for women. ठीक है, उसके बाद जो करंट रूलिंग पार्टी है, इन्होंने अपने मैनिफेस्टो में इसको इंक्लूड किया इन 2014 एंड 2019, बट देयर हैज बीन नो इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ बिल इन द पार्लियामेंट. उसके बाद अगर हम देखें कि देयर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ आर्ग्यूमेंट्स रिलेटेड टू दिस. वन विच फेवर्स द reservation of bill, which is very strong argument, and the second which does not favor the reservation of seats for women, okay, which is a weak argument. So the strong argument which favors the arguments which favors the reservation for women, so they say that okay, that affirmative action is imperative to make the condition of women better since political parties are inherently patriarchal. मतलब they say कि political party का जो structure है वो patriarchal है, ठीक है ना, तो वो वुमेन को कभी फेवर नहीं करेंगे आगे आने के लिए, तो हमें रिजर्वेशन देना बहुत ज़रूरी है वुमेन के लिए ताकि वो लीडरशिप पोजीशन हमारे कंट्री का ले सके. देन that it will also ensure that women will form a strong lobby in parliament to fight the issues that are often ignored, especially the women related issues. Then there has been evidence that women as panchayat leaders have shattered many social myths, and they have been found that they are more accessible to than men. They control the stranglehold of liquor, invested substantially in public goods such as drinking water, helped other women express themselves better, reduce corruption, prioritize nutrition outcomes, and change the development agenda at the grassroots level, which is very important. ठीक है. Then there has been a study by Esther Duflo Raghav Chattopadhyay which says that many women leaders have been found that they are just rubber stamps of their husbands, especially in West Bengal and Rajasthan, but still they are more likely to invest in goods that are important to the interest of women. ठीक है. So today if we will see कि जो इंडिया का जो प्रॉब्लम है, like India has a high percentage of crime against women, low participation of women in the workforce, low nutrition level, and a skewed sex ratio. These all challenges can be addressed if women are in the decision making power. Okay. The next is what are the ideas against this. So many people say that if women will not be competing on merit if there is reservation, and it will lower their status in society. ठीक है. Second, they say that like we have a caste based reservation, so caste is a homogeneous community, but women, they are not a homogeneous community. Third, they say that women's interest cannot be isolated from other social, economic and political strata. Fourth, some argue that reservation of seats in parliament would restrict the choice of voters to women candidates, and this has led to suggestions of alternate methods including reservation for women in political parties and dual member constituencies. ठीक है. तो ये कहते हैं कि अगर हम वुमेन को रिजर्वेशन देंगे तो पीपल विल बी फोर्स्ड. ओके, सो वी आर फोर्सिंग द चॉइस ऑन पीपल टू इलेक्ट वुमेन. The next is they are saying that there can be some suggestions like giving reservation to women in political parties and dual member constituencies where we can have two MPs, one of them being a woman. But some parties, they have pointed out that even these may not work as parties may fill women candidates in unwinnable seats. मतलब कि अगर पॉलिटिकल पार्टी में हम रिजर्वेशन देते हैं, अगर हम पॉलिटिकल पार्टी को कहते हैं कि दैट गिव वाइल इन अ जनरल इलेक्शन गिव 10% और 33% ऑफ द सीट्स फॉर वुमेन, तो यहाँ पे चांस ये होगा कि जो ये सीट्स वुमेन्स को मिलेंगी वो उस कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी की मिलेंगी जहाँ से पार्टी का जीतने का चांस ज़्यादा नहीं है. ओके. Then fifth is that men hold primary power as well as key position in politics. Some have even argued that bringing women into politics could destroy the ideal family. ये इंडिया की बात चल रही है. ठीक है. अब हम थोड़ा सा अपने नेबरहुड की बात करते हैं. If we will see that only 14% of the members in Indian Parliament are women, which is highest so far. Now, according to Inter-Parliamentary Union, India has a fewer percentage of women in the lower house than its neighbors such as Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, which is a dismal record for India. The next is a very important appointment. Eric Garcetti confirmed as US envoy to India. So the US Senate on Wednesday confirmed President Joe Biden's close aide Eric Garcetti as the country's next ambassador to India. ठीक है. This is very important. तो यहाँ पे जो है जो इनका नॉमिनेशन था वो पेंडिंग था यूएस कांग्रेस के पास सिंस जुलाई 2021, बट लास्ट वीक द सीनेट फॉरेन रिलेशंस कमेटी वोटेड इन फेवर ऑफ हिज नॉमिनेशन एंड देन वाज ब्रॉट टू सीनेट फ्लो and the Senate has confirmed the appointment. So very soon he will be appointed as the ambassador of United States in India. Now coming to the Bar Council of India, So the Bar Council of India has opened up law practice in India to foreign lawyers and firms. So BCI ने एक नया रूल फ्रेम किया है, that is Bar Council of India rules for registration of foreign lawyers and foreign law firms in India. It will enable foreign lawyers and law firms to practice foreign law, diverse international law and international arbitration matters in India on the principle of reciprocity. Okay, यहाँ पर हम देखेंगे that the rules would also help to address the concerns expressed about the flow of foreign direct investment into the country, and it would help make India a hub for international commercial arbitration. अब यहाँ पे देखिए रूल में क्या है, that it prescribes that foreign lawyers and firms would not be entitled to practice law in India without registration with the BCI. If any foreign lawyers or firms they want to practice in law in India, they have to register with BCI. इसका eligibility क्या होगा, that they have to show the certificate from a competent authority of their country that there they are registered as a lawyer. तो यहाँ पे देखिए अच्छा इसमें एक restriction है, that ये जो restriction है that they have to register with BCI for practicing law in India. This restriction is not with those lawyers who are fly in and fly out type of lawyers. So what is this fly in and fly out basis? Okay, where the lawyer they come for the purpose of giving legal advice to a client in India. Fine. But इनके ऊपर भी restrictions है that in such a case the lawyer or firm cannot have an office in India and their practice cannot exceed 60 days in a 12-month period. This is very important. The next is National Commission for Backward Classes, which was given the constitutional status by 102nd Constitutional Amendment Act, which inserted Article 338B in the Constitution. So according to Article 338B, National Commission for Backward Classes will have a chairperson, vice chairperson and 3 other members. Today, as of today, the National Backward Classes Commission, it has one chairperson, Hansraj Gangaram Ahir, and only one member, okay, that is Bhuvan Bhushan Kamal. So they have been appointed as per the provisions of Article 338B, but we don't have vice chairperson and 2 other members. Now the Union Home Ministry has formed a task force to suggest remedial measures for prevention of suicides and fratricides in CAPF. So as many as 436 CAPF personnel died by suicide in past 3 years, and 135 personnel committed suicide in 2022, 157 in 2021 and 144 in 2020. Now we have 7 CAPF which comes under the Union Home Ministry. These are Central Reserve Police Force, Border Security Force, Central Industrial Security Force, Indo-Tibetan Border Police, Sashastra Seema Bal, National Security Guard and Assam Rifles. Now the next is Local Committee. Current procedure for inclusion on ST list adequate, says the government. तो यहाँ पे the Union Ministry of Tribal Affairs ने राज्यसभा में बताया है कि जो करंट प्रोसीजर है शेड्यूल्ड ट्राइब्स की लिस्टिंग का वो एडिक्वेट है. तो ये प्रोसीजर क्या है पहले इसके बारे में हम देख लेते हैं, which is very important. So first of all, this procedure is based on the criteria set out by the local committee in 1965, that how to decide whether a community can be included in the ST list. तो लोकल कमिटी ने देखो कुछ क्राइटेरिया दिया है, which is that there should be an indications of primitive traits, distinctive culture, geographical isolation, shyness of contact with the community at large and backwardness. फाइन. अब देखिए ये स्टार्ट कैसे होता है, कैसे लिस्टिंग की जाती है. तो जो रूल फ्रेम हुए हैं 1999 में, यहाँ पे क्या होता है कि दैट द प्रपोजल फॉर इंक्लूजन विल बी मेड बाय रिस्पेक्टिव स्टेट और यूनियन टेरिटरी गवर्नमेंट. फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ सर्टेन tribe is residing in a particular state called as X, so the proposal to include that tribe into this list, which is called as Scheduled Tribe Order 1950, Constitution Scheduled Tribe Order 1950, इस प्रोसेस में इसको इंक्लूड करने के लिए उस स्टेट को ही सबसे पहले प्रपोजल जो है वो लाना पड़ेगा. ये प्रपोजल फिर जाएगा यूनियन ट्राइबल अफेयर्स मिनिस्ट्री, फिर वहाँ से ये जाएगा ऑफिस ऑफ द रजिस्ट्रार जनरल ऑफ इंडिया, एंड इफ ORGI approves it, then it is forwarded to National Commission for Scheduled Tribes. Only after getting okay from all these 3 agencies, then the proposal is set forward to the cabinet to bring in the appropriate amendment to this Constitution Scheduled Tribe Order 1950. Now coming to environment, Eurasian Otter raises hope for J&K stream. So there is an elusive semi-aquatic carnivorous mammal, okay, which has been identified, which has been located in the Neeru stream of Chenab catchment. So a trio of 3 scientists from University of Jammu's Institute of Mountain Environment, they have camera trapped 3 Eurasian otters 2 adult and 1 sub-adult in Niru stream of Chenab catchment. Okay. Now, this Eurasian otter, they are classified as near threatened on the IUCN Red List and is regarded as a flagship species and indicator of high quality aquatic habitat. The next is award. Journalist Dhyan Rajendra wins Chameli Devi Award. So Dhanya Rajendran, co-founder and editor-in-chief of the News Manual portal, has been declared the winner of Chameli Devi Jain Award for Outstanding Women Media Person for 2022. So friends, that's all for today. We will meet tomorrow again with a daily Hindu analysis. Till then, have a nice time. Take care. Thank you.